In today's shave, I'm using Barrister and Mann Hallows, coming right up. Hey guys, welcome back to the Lathering channel. I'm your host John, and today, with Halloween just around the corner, we are going to use some appropriate software for that, and I've chosen Barrister and Mann Hallows. This is an older release, I think from 2 years ago, 2018. You can kind of tell which version you have by the artwork, but this is a appropriately dark scent that was inspired by kind of the swamps and bogs in New England. And there's some, I don't think they're there anymore, but these old kind of side labels, I don't know what you call these, kind of proof to see if something had been opened before or not, has the scent notes or kind of key notes on the side. And actually it just reads moss, vetiver, and cocoa. So it's a really interesting scent. We're gonna dive into that in just a little bit, but let me show you first what we got for the shave today. Because anything dark or spooky would be appropriate for today's shave, we're going with the Tatara Masamune Dark, and this is loaded with a feather blade on its second shave. And for the brush, we've got this stunner from Grizzly Bay. It's got some copper flakes, and the main brush is kind of a charcoal graphite dark gray color here. This one's got some gel to it, as you can kind of see the way it's clumping. Very soft knot and very enjoyable. And to finish off the shave, of course, we have the matching aftershave splash right here. Alright, so as I'm doing the face lather here, I am working with 4 days of beard growth. It's been a bit of a busy week. Looking really scruffy. For my own standards at the very least. But let's talk a little bit more about Hallows from Barrister and Mann. And this one, I know this is the favorite of a lot of folks, both for the fall season / Halloween, but also folks of kind of complex and definitely darker scents really gravitate towards this one. And I'm not someone who uses or kind of gravitates to super dark scents. Dark, I guess it's kind of hard to describe what I mean by dark, but in my mind, I'm thinking kind of dank scents, vetiver oftentimes. I know Katie's Bubbles, Chris Cullen, the owner, ardent artisan, does some great things with the vetiver to really bring out a dark, kind of a darker fragrance. Now, Hallows is a little bit more accessible to me at the very least, because it's not necessarily super dark. It has that element, but it's a complex scent that I know it smelled differently when I've used it in like cooler weather versus like warming temperatures in spring. And the temperature, the season can kind of bring out different notes. Right now, as I'm lathering it, there is, I would say, the moss, the oak moss kind of thing is up front, giving it a powdery vibe and almost a barbershop type vibe, because a lot of the classic aftershaves utilize that moss note. And it's followed up right behind it is followed up by some vetiver, which I mentioned before, giving that darker quality. And that third note that I mentioned before, cocoa, that really presents itself, I think, more in the dry down of the scent, and more, in my experience at least, more in the aftershave. I'm wondering if I loaded enough. I think my lather is looking a little thin. And might as well show you, the puck is a little bit darker. I mean, just kind of like a, I don't know, like a lighter caramel-ish color. I'm gonna pick up a little more soap. As I was loading before, I was trying to think which soap base this version is featured in. I want to say it's white label. I could be wrong. I'll try to find that out, and maybe put a note in or correction and if needed. But if it is white label, it might be one of my only, if not like 1 or 2 Barrister and Mann white labels soap base left. With each iteration of soap base changes within Barrister and Mann, I would say the lathers have really improved each point, but each version I feel like I think I've definitely seen, in Facebook posts and just other community forums, they're fans of the older soap bases, even for like declaration grooming. There's definitely the faithful to the original Bison base over anything else that's come out since. I'm glad I went back to the puck because this definitely needed. I think I underestimated how much soap this brush needed, but also with a lot of the modern soaps, you don't need a heavy load. So it's kind of cool to travel back in time and use an older base and realize like what was a heavy load back then versus what it is now. So this one I would say easily 30 to 40 seconds for a 26mm knot. Yeah, definitely looking better. It was a little thin before. I'm not sure if you guys noticed in my last video too. While I'm still editing, I'm trying to edit less. It'll give more of that organic feel. I think that definitely got a little too edit heavy, so we'll leave this all in. I'll still edit out some stuff just to make the talking points a little more seamless, but saves me time and stress, and be able to deliver more content to you guys. So here we go in, 4 days of growth. The Tatara Masamune. I tried one other shave with the feather blade, and the feather blade is actually the one they package in with the razor. Yet, oddly enough, I didn't try out this combo until probably within October. I don't use the feather blade a whole bunch. With my mildest razors like a Gillette Tech, I think it pairs very well. And while the Masamune normally is a very, very mild razor, mild but with enough efficiency for me, I do think the feather blade kicks it up a notch. But honestly, this 4-day growth is the real test. So I'm still getting powderiness off the lather. And let me just, I know I shared with you some notes from the label, but let me just give the full set notes right now. But the razor does not seem to have any problem removing 4 days for me. Granted, my beard hair isn't particularly coarse. I know that contributes a lot. As I was mentioning the edits before, feel free to let me know in the comments kind of what your preference is, whether, before time was of the essence, I was trying to bring you as much information in as compact a format as possible. And I'm learning to give some time to breathe, digest. One thing though that I probably always will edit out is just kind of needless time wasted by the running of the sink, which you gotta clean off your razor, rinse the face, that stuff I kind of always want to edit out. But yeah, if that is, that kind of stuff, how the sausage is made and whatnot is of interest to you, I'd love to hear your feedback. I'm trying to find a happy medium between, something a little more polished than just hitting record and letting it go for the whole shave. Now, we know Halloween is around the corner, and for most places within the United States, celebrations are looking really different. So I do hope that everyone especially people who love this, are kids at heart, who love this holiday or love this, love the horror movie genre. I hope you guys can find safe ways to celebrate for this craptastic 2020 year. We all have to make adjustments, and I mean, I really am impressed by my kids for being so flexible as far as, the whole schooling remotely, and obviously not seeing as many friends, both family friends and their own friends, nearly as much, or under really different circumstances. It's a good reminder for when I'm feeling really frustrated by everything. If a 5-year-old can do it, a grown-ass man can do it too. So it looks like my typical kind of 2.5 pass shave, or 2 pass and a cleanup, is gonna do just fine. So I call that a success for the Masamune with feather blade combo. Another funny observation is with these kind of coated razors, whether it's black or a different color, and not just the actual steel or metal exposed, it really benefits from super slick soaps and lathers. This thing has just a little bit more drag in more more average soaps or older soaps, like your basic Parasso cream or soap would be a little more dragged with this razor. All right, solid shave. Hallows, being a quasi-dark, not fully dark scent, hits the spot for me. We're gonna finish off with the aftershave now. Just kind of smelling my hand and my freshly rinsed face, I get vetiver kind of stands out, but we're gonna add that splash now. And cocoa, yeah, that cocoa, I was about to say, that cocoa, that is prominent in the splash and really adds another level of complexity. On paper, I'm sure it probably sounds really weird. Moss, vetiver, and cocoa, but it kind of gives it a dark chocolate vibe, but not, without any sweetness. This is a scent definitely more for myself to enjoy, piggyback off the season kind of thing. Not so much, something, your loved one, significant other could like this one, but more, it's not even the fact that it's I'd categorize it as masculine, although vetiver, vetiver colognes or just other scents tend to lean kind of masculine, if not, some people I've heard say it's old manish. That's not necessarily, I think it's kind of how it's composed, but this is probably a more challenging scent for significant others. We'll see. I didn't ask my wife her opinion. I will, I'll ask her right after, and maybe I can put in a quick little clip or something to get her impression. I feel like those are often entertaining, maybe useful. Alright, so the shave is all done. Again, we're using Barrister and Mann Hallows. If you've heard it but don't recognize the label, the newest one is more cartoony. If you're a gamer and you've seen the game Cuphead or kind of old school, Steamboat Willie, Mickey Mouse, Disney kind of stuff, the new label kind of evokes that kind of playful style. Kind of everything's a little rounded, cartoony, but still cool. I dig the new label. And of course, as always, I want to hear from you. Have you used Barrister and Mann Hallows? Whether you picked it up this year, you have a previous release, you have a whole closet full of the set. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on this soap set. And with that, we'll bring this video to a close. I want to wish you guys a happy and a safe Halloween, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.